Before we get underway here, I'd like to highlight a couple of folks who are with us. First of all, Louis Bird, 4 times National Golden Gloves champion. It's hard enough to win one in one weight. Ladies and gentlemen, how about 4 times different weights? Louis Bird, thank you for making this very special, Louis, and all the family. Congratulations to you. And ladies and gentlemen, it's a very special person here who had worked for a couple of years trying to get the rockers inaugurated. And I was just talking here a couple of seconds ago with Jesse Mora, and he told me about what Lou Lopez did. He originated the team in the 70s, Rudy Rockers. How about a big round of applause for our good friend? Felicidades, caballero. There you go. Also to all the family. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where you have the opportunity to say hello to everyone else on the table. Perhaps this is the first time you met. I hope you've taken the advantage of going and saying hello to Christy Martin before we get started. It's going to be an excellent opportunity to take pictures and also to get that signed autograph. What a special, special day. Would you be so kind as to introduce yourself to the person on the right? Would you be so kind as to give a big kiss and a hug to the person on the left? There you go. That's the way it's done. Don't you just love it? You open the door and they're exchanging, used to be phone numbers. Now it's Gmails, Facebook accounts. That's pretty cool. We have a bird in the sky, a bird in the ring in this occasion, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to be recording all this. This is going to be going nationwide and internationally. And, of course, we will be also having the opportunity with Ghost Town Promotions, the Gladiators, Raul Utajara and his boys and the entire family. They're going to be recording this, and we will see that later on. Look at this image right here. Look at this great picture. The 2 champions right there, ladies and gentlemen. How about a big round of applause? That's beautiful. The only thing you guys are missing is Christy Martin. Yeah. That'd be great. My name is Luis Canela. Canela means cinnamon in English. And my good friends call me Cinnamon Buns. But all week I've been having a little bit difficulty. And my friends have been calling me Frogger all week. And I hope that this volume here will stay during the entire presentation. So, I was looking into what boxing is defined in the dictionary, Merriam-Webster, and the first thing I saw caught my attention, an act of enclosing in a box. What? Material used for boxers' casing. I said, no, that's not the info I need. It's the art of attack and defense with the fists, practiced as a sport. The sweet science as we know it. Boxing is booming again. It's undisputable. It's back being the prominent combat sport. And it has always encountered its peaks and its valleys over time. But it always finds a way to rally in the championship rounds. And that's tonight. The championship nights, La Noche de los Campeones. The world is watching, and we are so glad to bring it to them. So, ladies and gentlemen, when we have the speakers, when we have the inductees, please give them a big round of applause. Let the entire world know what you feel. The reaction will be tremendous. Now, The commitment of trainers, fighters, managers, matchmakers, promoters, broadcasters, boxing media, and mostly the fans. Maybe it's so popular because it's what boxing teaches us about life. Maybe it has everyone, well, perhaps relating to how we fight our life. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, it's a who's who as you look in every table. Very well-known people. And every time they get together, we are family. Friends, but mostly familia. We appreciate all the volunteers. How about a big round of applause during the last couple of days, 5 days. All the donations, all the sponsors. And if you'd like, we can give them a big round of applause, a standing ovation if you like, our sponsors at the very end. Law firm of Bruce Danford, All Drivers Insurance, The Boss Tattoo Studio, Coach Assist Products, Stan's Auto Sales, Joyeria Torres, Safety, Construction, Industry, Training, and COVID. The House of Pain East, Coach Burndog, Colombian Steakhouse, Secras, Voice, Video, Data Solutions, Guardian Angels Health Center, Sandoval Agencies, Pound for Pound Promotions, Shelly Ray Martinez, Scudder Press Incorporated, BAM TV, Raul Utajara Ghost Town Promotions. And clap really loud because he's really far away. Our DJ, our tremendous DJ, Ernesto Duran. There he is. And the entire week, one of the most busiest booths we've had, Jose's Cantina, of course. So a big round of applause for Jose's Cantinas and all their beautiful bartenders, excellent services. Remember, they have your beer, nice and cold. Mixed drinks. Margarita is the one that's the most asked for. Is that right? And many other juices. You can also find your soda and your water. So a big round of applause to all of our sponsors, ladies and gentlemen. As we can see, the list is coming down slowly. I wanted to share my experience. When I was young, I used to come to the Golden Gloves matches. One of my good friends, as a matter of fact, is going to return to the ring, and I'm going to keep that secret until we get to it. But he was the one that was the master of ceremonies. And I had an interest. And when I was working for Univision for 40 years as the sportscaster, winning 2 Emmys, winning 2 times best broadcaster, anchor in the entire region. I am the voice of the Denver Broncos in Spanish, Denver Nuggets, Colorado Rockies, and the Rapids. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor when I work with professionals, I want everyone to know that they are professionals. Possibly considered one of the top officiating crews in the entire history of the Golden Clubs. I'd like to introduce to them one-on-one if they would be so kind to stand up or at least wait for a couple of seconds, and please wait until I mention everyone before you sit down. C.C. Edwards, our Chief of Officials. Paul Kelly. Jeannie the Priest. Lisa Loya. Dr. Britt Drake. Marsha Buddy. Andrew Mandano. Ron Wilkins. Patrick Butler. Glenn Goodson. Gilbert Archuleta. Dr. Brignoni. Chiropractor Bernard O'Grady. Justin Vachon. Adrian Martinez, Steve Niffer, Mike Campbell, Sam Hall, Bo Campbell, Nathan Longmire, and, ladies and gentlemen, the Dancing Man. The Dancing Man. Happy Feet. His partners named him because in every event we've had, the DJ challenges them to dance country, rock and roll, disco. You did the cha-cha-cha. You did the tango this week also. Yesterday was the robot. That was interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, Jesse Cordova. Big round of applause for everyone, ladies and gentlemen. The best crew around. And remember that a lot of that time, serious work, and we are so proud of them. Well, in your souvenir magazine is all the information as to what is going on. There are a couple of pages in there that I'd like to call your attention to. Larry Bonds, Eric Cedillo, Tim Marcus, Billy Earl Parks, Reyes Mighty Mouse Salas, Robert Thompson, Coach Jerry Red Thompson. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1970s Hall of Fame crew. Give him a big round of applause. I know that many of you are here with us, and we are honored. Thank you so much. Please stand up so we can take a picture. Please stand up. And if you're in the line, raise your hand. We'll give you a big shout out all the way over there. We love you. We're proud of you. You did us good. Good teachers. Your masters. And these are your family forever also. And the family would like to give you a standing ovation. Larry Bonds, Eric Cedillo, Tim Marcus, Billy Earl Parks, Reyes Mighty Mouse Salas, Robert Thompson, and Jerry Red Thompson. Congratulations. We're going to take a little pause here. I'm going to go visit the cantina, just like you guys have. And then we'll be back in about 10 minutes or so. Música, por favor. That magic to turn an event into a party event. So you're going to be seeing that later on tonight. Championship night with the best DJ in the entire region. So big applause there for Ernesto Duran. Good guy. It's an honor having our special guests, Christy Martin, and also Lisa Hallowine. How about a big round of applause for both, please? This would be a great opportunity to take a picture. I'm serious. The line is a little bit long still, so if you have a couple of seconds, take your camera. You're never going to have this opportunity again. So we're going to be talking about the incredible career and what she's been doing lately, Chris, and also Lisa Hallowine. Every time I see Lisa, even inside the ring, she was always smiling. She's got that smile. Both of them do, don't they? Wow. Please take this opportunity. Take your souvenir magazine. Get it autographed. That's sensational. A couple of minutes ago, I was talking about the two gentlemen that were taking a picture, and I didn't want to bother them because they were getting their dish. But ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to introduce to you a two-time national champion Golden Gloves, He's inducted here in Colorado as one of the great legends in the sport. As a matter of fact, there's only 3 boxers that have been named to this list. 3 times named to the Colorado Sports Hall and Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a big round of applause for champion Deborah Williamson. Ladies and gentlemen, before you sit down, Deborah, I've noticed that you did 3 things when you stood up. Which is your pitching arm? That's what I thought, because you turned down and you were like you were practicing to throw. What's this about that I hear that next Tuesday at the Rockies, this Tuesday, Colorado Rockies, ladies and gentlemen, guess who's throwing out the first pitch? Hey, Deborah Williamson. Congratulations. Thank you, sir. Thank you, champ. We're only a couple of minutes, ladies and gentlemen, before we start our Hall of Fame. And again, if you have a couple of minutes, this is a great time to visit our champions who have been so kind as to join us here, Christy and Lisa. We'll be back. Banquet! Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to be with you. Thank you so much for making this night even more special. We have Christy Martin and also Lisa Hallowine is our special guest. And we have a very special championship night for you. Damas y caballeros, muchas gracias por acompañarnos. Es una noche de campeones, noche de la mera guerra aquí en el ring de Roller City. Saludo muy especial de parte de Christy Martin y Lisa Hallowine. Son nuestras invitadas de honor. Ladies and gentlemen, please, big round of applause for the Colorado Golden Gloves Board of Directors 2022. Emeritus member, Jesse Mora. Kisses. He doesn't want to stand up. He doesn't want hugs. He just wants kisses. There you go. Jesse, it's an honor, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, Jesse Mora is the gentleman that brought the Golden Gloves to what it is today. He was the founder. He's the man that opened the doors. And he fought for many years, and he finally won. And what a great treasure this has been. Felicidades. This big round of applause and standing ovation is Jesse for you, especially for you, sir. Jesse Mora, ladies and gentlemen, and this is the banquet in his name, his honor. Emeritus member, Jesse Mora. And his beautiful wife. He also deserves to be in the Colorado Hall of Fame. Said one of your biggest fans that's going to be taking the stage later on in the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our chairman, Paul Kelly Jr., our vice chairman, Robert Baca, secretary, Tierra Martinez, treasurer, franchise holder, Gian DePriest, Jeannie DePriest, Chief of Officials, C.C. Edwards. Tournament Director, Raul Utahara. Physician, Dr. Brignoni. Attorney, Bruce Danford. Board Member, Adrian Martinez. Board Member, Chris Ferguson. Athlete Representative, Cesar Utahara. Athlete Representative, Ezekiel Ferguson. They are the Board of Directors. Please stand up, get recognized. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. We have a very special prayer with our chairman.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight. You're going to enjoy this day. We got some great bouts ahead of us. So if you could please remove your hats, we'll start in prayer. Father God, I thank you for this moment in time that we can glorify you first and foremost in everything that's going to be happening today. I ask that you watch over our boxers, our warriors, as they enter that ring and battle for the championship of the state of Colorado. Father God, continue blessings on the Colorado Golden Gloves watch over us, guide us, give us travel mercies to and from, and the blessings that we have from everybody here today. We are truly blessed. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. God bless you.
Thank you, Paul. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a big round of applause also for that delicious food? Las Palmeras. Baltasar Peña, would you be so kind as to wave to us here for a couple of seconds? Baltasar, there he is, ladies and gentlemen, our chef and the owner of Las Palmeras. It's the first restaurant right after you get off the highway, I-25, Longmont, right there. You're going to find all these and many other great dishes. Simplemente delicioso. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the Colorado Golden Gloves has not given an award like this ever. It has to be a very special person, a person that has done outstanding work in and out the ring. Christy Martin is an American former professional boxer, pioneer, and promoter. Competing 23 years from 1989 to 2012, she held the WBC Female Super Welterweight title in the year 2009. In total, she has been inducted into 6 Hall of Fame. Martin is said to be the most successful and prominent female boxer in the United States and the person who legitimized, is that right, Colorado? Who legitimized women's participation in the sport of boxing. She began her career fighting in tough women contests and won 3 consecutive titles. Started her professional boxing career at the age of 21 with a 6-round draw with Angela Buchanan in 1989. She then had 19 consecutive wins. In her first title defense, she fought a draw against Laura Serrano in Las Vegas. Martin defended her title 6 times more, including a rematch with Beverly Simansky, a 4th fight with Buchanan, and defenses versus Melinda Robinson and Sue Chase, winning all of them. Before the fight that many credit for putting women's boxing on the sports fans' radar took place on March 16, 1996. She and Deidre Kogarty fought what many consider a great fight. In front of Showtime cameras, Martin got the decision, and after the bout, she began to gain more celebrity, appearing in Hollywood. Yes. After the show, after her win, she also got the cover of Sports Illustrated. Martin made a special guest appearance in the television shows Roseanne. Season 9 episode was called Pampered to a Pulp. Invited to appear on Leno, Letterman, Good Morning America, The Today Show, and many others. Christy holds a record of 49 wins, 7 losses, 3 draws, with 31 outstanding wins by knockout. She is a frequent visitor at the International Boxing Hall of Fame, the annual ceremonies. She's an avid autographer and also one of the most fought for pictures by the fans. Martin, ladies and gentlemen, was promoted by Don King. She was nicknamed the coal miner's daughter in reference to her father's occupation. She had fought on the undercard of boxers Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, Felix Trinidad, and Julio Cesar Chavez. Christy is a fighter, pioneer and promoter, chief executive operator of Christy Martin Promotions, and is the founder of Christy's Champs, an organization that supports victims of domestic abuse. In 2016, she became the first female boxer inducted into the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame. In 2020, she was inducted into the International Box Hall of Fame. And today, yes, thank you. Let's give her a big round of applause for that one. Yes. Get ready to stand, everybody. And today, a day to remember, the Colorado Golden Gloves Hall of Fame salutes a legendary champ. And we honor her with the first Lifetime Achievement Award. Ladies and gentlemen, here's our champ, Chris Martin. Christy's making her way over here, and our member, Adrian Martinez, will have the honor of presenting her with this Lifetime Achievement Award. The coal miner's daughter. And this is what the award says. You might want to give it to her there. Big old smile. I don't know who's smiling more. I think it's Adrian. And it says, the Colorado Golden Gloves presents this Lifetime Achievement Award to Christy Salters Martin, the coal miner's daughter and my good friend, for her commitment to the community and her honorable career in boxing.
Thank you guys so much. And I want to thank you all for coming out tonight to support amateur boxing. It is so important that we give these young boxers, male and female, a place to be, a boxing gym to be a family to, because everybody doesn't have that strong home life that some of us are fortunate enough to have. So keep supporting the boxing programs, keep supporting the Golden Gloves, and thank you again for having me here. I really appreciate it. God bless.
Christy Martin, ladies and gentlemen, the coal miner's daughter. Outstanding in the ring and outstanding in our community. Congratulations also for the domestic program that she offers, helping so many, many, many people. How about a round of applause also for Adrian Martinez for presenting the award. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now ready for the Colorado Golden Gloves Hall of Fame. Our first inductee is Amorena Baca, and presenting Robert Baca presenting. Look at this. He dressed up. Yeah, look at him. Snazzy, good looking. You look like a one of those guys that come out in all those fashion magazines. To the tilt. Congratulations. Robert Baca, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Luis. Caught me off guard there. I had a mouthful of food. First of all, thank everybody for coming, especially family and friends. Good to see you all here to support. Glory to God in the highest, and peace on earth to people of goodwill. Amen. First, let me start as a father saying how proud I am of my daughter Amorena. Not just for her induction today, but more importantly, for the loving, caring, compassionate person that she is. She is a bright, shining star of her family, of our family. Likewise, in her professional career and in civic communities. And this boxing family that we are all here today to celebrate. Amorena has faced adversity all her life and has prevailed in every case, starting from the day she was born. There were some scary difficulties with her birth, but she came out fighting for her life. And within a short time, all was good. And so a journey toward exceptionalism began and continues this day and far into the future, I'm sure. Now as a coach, I'm often asked, who was your best student, or who is your best has your best student be? I never give a direct answer to that question because there have been many who have in different ways shown greatness. However, I give Amorena a grade of A+ for the 3 Ds: dedication, determination, and desire. Let the facts speak for themselves. 7 Colorado Golden Gloves championships, 6 Colorado USAB championships, along with many outstanding female boxer awards, regional titles, and national titles. More importantly, from my perspective as a coach, 3 times as many stops of her opponents than the next nearest student with only half the number of bouts. That's how the great ones do it. Her and I started this boxing journey together in the basement of the Elks Lodge number 17 with a medicine ball and a jump rope 21 years ago. Today we are here with the first female boxer to join the Colorado Golden Gloves Hall of Fame family. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my great honor to introduce my favorite student of all time, Miss Amorena Baca.
I would like to start by thanking the Colorado Golden Gloves Board for nominating and voting me to be inducted into the Colorado Golden Gloves Hall of Fame. This truly is a prestigious recognition that I'm beyond honored to be receiving, especially as the first female boxer to be inducted. My heart is full. I would like to thank God for my countless blessings and abilities bestowed upon me, and for the billions of things that had to happen just for me to be here. With God and my ancestors in my corner, with all my prayers for strength and guidance are a big part of what makes being able to do something as incredible as boxing possible for me. When I was a little girl, I wanted to be 2 things: Miss America and a ninja. And I think I ended up somewhere in between those 2. A tomboy that loves to be glamorous. An unusual combination, but hey, here I am. I remember the moment I wanted to be a boxer. I was about 7 years old, and my dad was speaking in depth about boxing and what it was like to be a boxer. And I thought it was the most fascinating thing, and I wanted to do it. I didn't know how, but I knew one day I was going to be a boxer. Growing up, my parents never were particular about gender roles, and what I mean when I say that is that when my dad was outside in the yard using an axe to cut firewood and I told him I wanted to do it, he handed me the axe and told me what to do. Or when I wanted to paint the house, mow the grass, or build a treehouse, I never heard the words, "That's work is for boys to do." Now, don't get me wrong, I also learned to cook, and I did from my mom, my grandmas, and my aunties, and I love to do it, and if any of you have tried my cooking, I hope I've done those ladies proud. I'm grateful to my mom and dad for this because it set me on the path of knowing I could do anything, that I didn't have limitations because I'm a woman, which ties into me being here today, being inducted, because without that, I might not have become a boxer. Boxing is predominantly a men's sport, and when I was growing up, there wasn't Olympic-style boxing for women. And in professional boxing, women like Christy Martin, Mia St. John, and Layla Ali were just starting to get exposure. Women's boxing was just getting started, so it wasn't a common sport for women, and most people hadn't even begun to wrap their heads around the idea of women fighting. Like anything else, women have to fight tooth and nail to be recognized on the same platform as men, and boxing doesn't fall short of that. Women's boxing has come a long way since then, and including being added as an Olympic sport, and professionally women have made their mark and continue to grow the sport. If I have helped pave this way for or inspired anyone in any way, then this is a true feeling of winning for me. I want to say to my nieces and to all the young women in the world, what one woman can do, another woman can do. And that goes for everything in life. You can do anything, ladies. Over the years, I've heard a lot of boxers say that boxing has saved their life, and I would have to say I agree with this. Before I started competing in boxing when I was 20 years old, I started to drink heavily, as most young people do around that age. But one day I woke up and realized that I didn't want that kind of life, and I started thinking about boxing and how in my heart I still wanted to do it. I decided to choose a different path, and it wasn't too long after that when I made a phone call to my dad and told him that I was ready to train and fight. And he said okay, and we literally started training the next day. I was determined and serious about it, and it became my life. I really put my whole life into it. So here I am, 85 amateur fights, 7 professional fights, and 20 years later. 20 years is a long time to do this crazy stuff, and honestly, I never thought I would box this long. But I guess I was pretty good and successful at it, and it was so much fun that I just kept going. It's hard to stop because it gets in your soul and it never leaves. There are so many things that boxing has gave me as a person. Believe it or not, when I was young, I was very shy and could not speak up for myself. Now I'm the total opposite of that, and boxing played a big role in that change. When you get in the ring and literally defend your life, it makes you look at yourself and the entire world differently. There is no feeling like it. It is scary and exhilarating at the same time. It gave me a confidence in myself I didn't know existed. Boxing is hard. It's so hard, physically, emotionally, and mentally. So I always feel like that if I can box, I can do anything. It has helped shape me into the person I am in so many ways, and I'm so happy that I chose to do it. Now, I would like to thank some people who played a big role in my career. Firstly, my dad, for starting to teach me when I was just 4 years old, for sharing his experience and knowledge, and for going full steam ahead with me when I called him up and told him I wanted to compete as a boxer. A big thank you and shout out to my cousin Santos. I asked him to be my strength and conditioning trainer at the peak of my amateur career. Santos knew what he was doing when it came to strength training, and I needed to add something more to my training. Both him and I were also going through a very hard time in our lives, and I called him up to train me because we both needed some saving, and we did just that. We pulled each other out of the mud. And I'm forever grateful to you, cuz, for having my back and teaching me so much. Big fives for life. Now, to thank my biggest supporter, my rock, my mom. I can never thank you enough, Mom, for being there for me through everything, the good and the bad. Even though you never wanted me to box because you were worried about me getting hurt, you still have supported me 100% through my entire career. You were there for me on my bad days in the gym, my wins, and my losses. You saw me go through all the ugly and hard parts of being a fighter. And I can confide in you always, and you always told me exactly what I needed to hear. Thank you for bringing me up when I was down, and thank you for the million times you took me to run Lookout Mountain. I would not have been able to make it this far without you. I love you, Mom. Special thank you to my family for California, for surprising me and coming all this way to be here for me today. I love you guys. Yeah. Thank you to all of my family and friends for coming to my fights and supporting me in something that I love doing, and for being here today as well. It means so much to you, and I love you all. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Amorena Baca, a member of the Colorado Golden Gloves Hall of Fame. That's outstanding. Look at that beautiful hug right there. I'm going to come over here right next to a gentleman that got a standing ovation. Jesse, would you join me up on stage for a couple of seconds? How about a big round of applause for Jesse and his beautiful wife? The entire family, all of them are here. This gentleman, ladies and gentlemen, wrote history. But it's history itself that he wants to talk about here next. And it is for a legend, a person that also made a big difference, not only as a person, but as a great boxer. And Jesse should know. So, ladies and gentlemen, as he's making his way up here to the stage, would you be so kind as to also welcome inductee, Colorado Golden Gloves, Jim Farrell.
Hello, Colorado Golden Gloves fans and supporters. It is truly appreciated by the individuals who participate that you support these young people and that it continues to go on, and hopefully it'll go on forever. Right now, I've pretty much up to the induction of two different persons. And prior to their induction, I just wanted to give you a little bit of history that I was involved with. I don't know if I can read my own writing. I've only got one good eye today, so. For years, I tried to get the state of Colorado to induct one of the best and famous coaches here for 54 years before he passed on. And I think most of you know him, Joe R. Garcia. I tried so hard for 3-4 years to get Joe inducted, and they just would not do it. I heard some things that I won't say here, but he deserved to be in. So that gave me the whim to start the Colorado Golden Gloves Charities Hall of Fame in 2009. And as that year, from 2009, dated to now, 2021, with those inducted today, brings us to a total of 60 inductees in the state of Colorado as Hall of Famers. And they all deserve it. They all had something to do with boxing, one way or another, whether it was participation in boxing, coaching, officiating, supporting, bringing their own kids to the gym. It all went on, and it's been 62 years for me to be involved with this great organization. I will be making this my last year with the regionals and the nationals. Then I'm going to call it quits and go out fishing and having a good time with my beautiful wife, of which Monday, June 27th, will be 58 wonderful years of marriage. Right? She's the only one that put up with me, so, you know, and I didn't have to pay her. Anyhow, we'll continue on with this, but I do have one other person here prior to the inductees. I've been associated with her for many, many years, from the 80s, and I hope she's here. Her husband got gravely ill, and she might be with him. Jeannie, are you here? Is she here? Would you mind coming up here with me, please? Please come up here, Jeannie. This wonderful lady has stood, besides my wife, has stood by my side for many, many years. She's helped me night and day for years, putting the programs together, helping all you coaches on organizing your teams and doing a lot of things. Don't be so slow. Come on. You know what? You walk faster than that. I know that. Come on. Did you open it? Open it. First of all, this is the lady behind Golden Gloves. She took my place as a franchise holder, and she's been doing a hell of a job, especially over at the Nationals. They recognize this lady on how much work she does, day in, day night, all the time, every year, the Nationals. This year, she will join me in becoming the National Golden Gloves Hall of Fame inductee. Jeannie? Okay. I'll let her speak in a minute, but I had to do something. She loves junior mints. Okay. So I bought her a couple boxes of junior mints to chew while she's doing everything else.
And I don't share.
And she plus I tried to find one of these guys, and man, it was hard. I had my granddaughters looking. But we finally found one of the little icons of the Energizer who specializes in Jeannie the Priest in her walking, moving, and doing everything. This is for her shop to remember who she is.
It's still going.
Yep, and yeah, she's still going. There you go, Jeannie. Okay.
That is okay. With my Energizer bunny? Well, this is who I am.
Well, yeah, thank you. Yeah, you're right. Like to say anything?
No. A lot of you know me as like an Energized bunny, but I took nonstop talk all the time until it comes to me. Then I have no words. I do this because I love it. It's my passion. It's my, every time you think that it's too much for you, one of the boxers, no matter how old they are, will come up to me and like this today it was Louis Bird, and I'm like, they all remember me, and it's like that does it for me. One hug and I'm on for another 10 years. So it'll never go away. All of you are a big part of who I am, and I appreciate every one of you, every one of you. And if there's anything I can do for you, please let me know. But thank you for this honor, and I'm still in shock about what's going on the national level, but the state level, the LBC, Colorado is my home and in my heart. So thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks, Jess. I'm saying something about you at the national.
Okay. She's happy. She's got her junior men's. Okay, I guess we can go on with the show, the rest of it. Ian, where's the Mr. Speaker? Mr. Canala. Do we want to call the next one up?
Would you like to say anything else about Jim Farrell?
Well, I'd like to get it started on Jim Farrell. Yeah, I've got his bio and all. And
Yes. By the way, everyone here wants some mints. Yeah, next time, bring to share.
$1 each
There you go.
for one. Okay, I'll get to the introduction. The boxer inductee of the Hall of Fame this year is a person that has been at it since, I believe he started in 1957, and he's actually a New Mexico guy. And he was moved to here and started his dedication in boxing. He had like 10 bouts up in New Mexico, and I think he won 7 and lost 3. But anyway, he came, he conquered, and Jim Farrell, can you come up here and I can kind of read the rest of your bio? Yeah. Mr. Jim Farrell. I'm going to read a little bit on your bio, and then I'll hand it over to you, okay?
Okay.
I know you're not speechless. Come on. Especially, he used to be a policeman out in Aurora, and he became a detective. Then he went to Iraq, and taught classes out there. So he's one hell of a person to deal with. Well, anyway, Jim Farrell, 5th Army, 1967, 1968. He had 24 Army fights, won 22 wins, 2 losses. 5th Army light middleweight champion while at Fort Carson, Colorado, 1967, 1968. He was runner-up for the All-Army title in 1967. Fort Lewis, Washington. He created the Aurora Amateur Athletic League, 1969 to 1971. He was a fighter and a coach. He participated in the Denver Rocks, 1968, 1969, and 1970. He had 30 fights, won 26, and had 4 losses. He was Colorado Junior Middleweight Golden Gloves title winner, 1968, 69, and 70. Regional Golden Gloves winner, 1968, 1969. National Golden Gloves semifinalist in 1969. And as an initial member of the Denver Rocks, he spent 2 years with local greats Ron Lyle, Larry Bonds, Billy Padilla, Chuck Coronado, Jesse Trujillo, Danny Hermosillo, Billy Parks, Donnie Nelson, Pete Torres, Rocky Aon, and of course myself. He thought I forgot. And he's had so many individuals that he participated. And we used to tease him because I think most of you know that the Elks during those years was predominantly Hispanic. So we used to tease him. He was the only gringo, you know. But being the hell of the gringo, he could fight, believe me. He was one hell of a fighter. And I've got a little poem here that was written by an individual, and then I'll turn it over to you. Gentleman Jim, he was called. He's about as Irish as an Irish can be. He could punch like Sonny Liston when he weighed in. At 163. You know, of course, his name was Jim Farrell, and I insist that you know the people all would step aside wherever Jim would go. He stands about 6'2" and is a middleweight boxer. The way he bashes people, you think him full of hate. Nothing could be farther from the very truth. Ask anyone who knows him, and then you'll have your proof. Jimmy is my good friend. I say he's my best. He is easy to distinguish from all of the rest. You know why? He's quite gentle by nature, and it's easy to mistake. But if you do, and excuse the term, if you do and piss him off, he'll no longer be awake. Okay? These are kind of pictures of Jimmy when he was boxing. And I got one little good story to tell. The Denver Rocks, I was coaching then at that time. And we were in Milwaukee for the bouts against the Milwaukee Bombers. Well, Mr. Daniels from the Danielsman used to dress us really well. So here we are in nice red sport coats, black tie, white shirt, black pants, you know. And they gave us all which I called a detective trench coat. If you guys know those trench coats that were kind of like white, light colored, and all the detectives wore them. And Jim and I went out to go get something to eat. Well, places were closed and all. Went in this place, it was all dark. We looked around and said, you know. And all of a sudden, lights went on. And we're surrounded by a bunch of black people. And we just stood there, you know. So I went up to the guy, the bartender guy, I go, what's the deal? He says, well, they think you guys are cops. I said, he is, you know. But,
Gave me up.
yeah. But, you know, we introduced ourselves, and one of the guys was at the fight. He goes, yeah, he kicked the shit out of, I think it was Ward. Yeah, Ward, that he boxed that day. And they started bringing us food and beer and all this, and really treated us well. So thanks to Jim being a policeman, we got treated good. So my stories of Jimmy have been great. Being so happy to know this man. So I think I better turn it over because I could talk all day long. Here you go, Jimmy. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jess. Thank you very much. I guess I'll start by saying that when I was notified that I had even been selected to perhaps get this award, when I thought of all the people that Jess and I boxed with, I could think of a lot that I felt were probably more deserving than me. But nevertheless, I'm grateful. And I guess there are a lot of good things about what happened to us in the 60s and 70s. With the Denver Rocks, we got to travel all over the country, even out of the country. We fought in Canada. It was just a great experience. And but I think what stands out most in my mind is that the guys that we boxed with, they will forever be in my heart. As a cop and as someone who's lived a long time, I've known a lot of people, I've met a lot of people, but boxers are just special people. I'm just so glad that I got to be involved in that, and will always be grateful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeff. Don't cry.
Ladies and gentlemen, what an outstanding introduction. The story is super funny. Would you like to stand right next to Jim over there for the official picture? And we're also going to ask Mr. Kelly to also stand with you by the side. And that was great. You know, this just shows, ladies and gentlemen, how far the roots of this organization and the history behind it. There is so much history. And that is why Jesse just wrote a book of those great years, including the recent ones, the history, the richness. And the book also touches the heart and the generosity and the friendships. Two great friends celebrating once again. One inducted into the Hall of Fame, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jim Farrell. And another saying goodbye to the Colorado Golden Gloves. This applause is for you, and I know you're going to join me here 2 times later on. But I just want you to see a panoramic view of all your friends standing up, clapping your hands. This is his favorite pose, he says. We talked about something very interesting a couple of minutes ago. That there are 3 boxers in the Colorado Hall of Fame. Let's mention a little bit about Corky Gonzalez.
Corky Gonzalez. I knew him when I was young. Still young, I'm saying. He was a great man. Some people took him wrong, took him in different views. But everything he did and he said came from his heart. And as a boxer, he was tremendous. People didn't realize it. A lot of us didn't get to see him. I did. I watched him. and he was an outstanding boxer. He went on through life. He had his ups and downs, but this man fought some tough people. He beat them, and got to be well known. Unfortunately, he didn't get to become the champion, but he was close to it. And great respects to this man, who through the years many thought he was one hell of a boxer.
Yes, he was.
So,
Corky Gonzalez,
Corky
ladies and gentlemen.
Gonzalez.
Yes. So, Jesse, we're going to come back here, and we're going to discuss another segment of the sport. When you come back, Mr. Paul is going to help us here for a second to walk you down, because we don't want you to get hurt, especially out of the ring, of all things.
Hey, I'm used to it.
There you go. Thank you so much. Big round of applause for Jesse Mora. In the 80s, when I started working here at KBNO Radio, my segments of sports also included the local sports. And it was really hard to get anybody to talk. You had the soccer players, you had the baseball players. And then I met a man that just opened up the door. He knew everybody. Everybody knew him. He had information that only he could give out. The reason? He was very well connected, very respected. And that man, ladies and gentlemen, is Steve. Would you mind joining me up here on stage? Steve Mestas, ladies and gentlemen. I shocked you, I think.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. But, thank you again for the 80s, 90s. You've always kept in touch with me no matter where I was. Radio, newspaper, and television, national TV also. Steve, I know that the next inductee has a very special place in your heart. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome 2022 inductee, Coach Scott Audrey.
Before we start, I just want to thank the Colorado Golden Gloves for inducting Scott Audrey to the Colorado Boxing Hall of Fame. Scott is the founder of the House of Pain. In my opinion, he's probably one of the most underrated and underappreciated coaches in Denver. I'm glad the day has come where we can finally put him into the Boxing Hall of Fame. Thank you, Scott, for the years of volunteering with at-risk youth. Today's different. Today, people get paid to do this stuff, and they make a lot of money off of it. All you volunteers are heroes to us kids, that mothers didn't have enough money to pay, picked us up, volunteering years. Started off guys like Dave Mingo, me, all the other House of Pains that started. I mean, you gave us a chance. You picked us up and showed us love and, treated us like sons all those years, So thank you, Coach, for all that. So, boxing saved more lives than it's ever taken, So I'm telling you, just for everything that you've ever taught us, thank you, Some of the most notables that we did with the with the House of Pain is 1997, 1998 Colorado Golden Gloves champions. Some of the greats that came out of there were Daniel Escobedo, Tyrone Castell, Andre Hobbs, and I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with Stevie Johnston, but he also came out of the House of Pain too, and Scott was his first trainer. And some of the notables in the pros, Scott jumped up to the pros. We have Stevie Little But Bad Johnston, Vasily Jurov, Costa Zoo, and countless others. And Scott, thank you. The legacy lives on, man. We still have the House of Pain East, South, Nebraska, Southern Cal, and Guadalajara, Mexico. So you guys help me welcome Scott Audrey to the Colorado Boxing Hall of Fame.
Thank you very much, Steve. I love you. I don't have much to say besides what Steve said. I went to junior mint, so that doesn't seem right. But, well, you know, first of all, I want to thank God, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and the Golden Gloves for this great honor. I went from a guy who loved boxing to competing at Madison Square Gardens, on HBO, on Showtime. I've met Oscar De La Hoya, George Foreman, Mike Tyson, Bernard Hopkins, Ron Lyle, Gene Fulmer, and many, many more heroes. I always wanted to fight for Bobby Lewis, but I never got on his team. But I ended up training fighters alongside him. That was a great honor. I sparred one of my favorite boxers, Ernie Hernandez. I was scared to death, but after that, he became my co-trainer. One night I went to dinner with my wife, of 48 years, by the way, and we went to Lyle Alzado's restaurant and bar to watch some boxing exhibitions, and apparently the guys didn't show up. So I did an exhibition with Billy Parks first, and then Larry Bonds after that, who I'd never met in person. And that was 2 weeks before his title fight with Sugar Ray Leonard. I had no mouthpiece. I borrowed shoes. I borrowed trunks, but it was a lot of fun. Steve Mestiz went from being a fighter to a great friend in and out of boxing. We have many stories, and we probably can't tell them to you. I wouldn't be up here without the help and sacrifices of many people, including my son sitting right there. Come on up, mate. No, I'm joking. And it's been my greatest honor to have a job that I loved. It's really not work if you love it. And all of my friends I met, basically I met through boxing, and I'm a better man for it. I want to thank you, Golden Gloves, for this honor. Oh, House of what?
Closing comments, Steve?
I got to get down. I'll set that there. Give me that.
Like this? Coach, this applause is for you. Congratulations. Standing ovation. All those years, all that hard work, managing, never sleeping, always looking for a way to motivate your guys. Congratulations. I heard about you from Steve. And I tell you what, if you look around, look at this. Everyone's on their feet. Congratulating you, Coach. Ladies and gentlemen, our new member of the Colorado Golden Gloves Hall of Fame, Coach Scott Audrey. House of... One more time. House of... There you go. Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to invite back to the podium Jess Mora. And we also have a very special presentation later on with Paul Kelly also taking the microphones. Look at this picture, ladies and gentlemen. All these gentlemen, champions, all these gentlemen learning from the man who knew, the man that knew the secrets of the sport and what to make their weapon their best. Each one had a different style, but each one had one thing in common with the coach: the love for boxing. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Colorado Hall of Fame, Scott Audrey, great coach, and the marvelous intro that Steve Mestiz brought us. So congratulations. How about a big round of applause also for the photographer? He's one of the pros, ladies and gentlemen. He's been around. He knows what's going on. Ladies and gentlemen, we return with the microphone with Jesse Mora, and we invite the 2022 inductee in the category of official Please welcome Rita Madrid.
She's acting bashful, but she's not. She's really not. I know. Hey, Rita. She got mad at me. Thanks. Yeah, let's throw it away. Okay, let's welcome Rita, who's been an official since 1975. And she used to come and work the events and all at Clare Gardens when, if you guys remember John Uleberry. And she started working with that and going on. Started doing the Golden Globes programs, brought her into that, and she did some professionals. But most of it, she was very loyal to the Colorado Golden Gloves as an official. When we needed people to help, she was there. She didn't even pick up chairs, do anything. One of her officials who worked with her and helped her was Ronnie Manus. Ronnie, where you at, Ronnie? And the other guy who's over here being a photographer, Joey Armillo.
Silence, please. Thank you.
Anyway, both these gentlemen took a great part in helping Rita and dealing with her, and she became one of the top officials. Eventually, she had to retire because she had grandkids to watch. Yeah, so, and then great-grandkids. Oh, okay. Anyway, I ran into her and I talked to her and got this idea from Joy Armillo and Ronnie Manus in putting Rita into the Hall of Fame. Ronnie, would you like to say something?
You know, timekeeping and doing the watch clock is a tough job, and every second counts. But with Rita Madrid, she was spot on. She never made a mistake. Very professional, always there on time. But the most important part of Rita's induction is that, for all you ladies out there and officials, she was the first female in Colorado, the first female to become an official with the Golden Gloves program. Very first official. And that's huge, that's big, because prior to that, women were not allowed to be officials at all under the Eddie Bone administration. They could not be officials until Jess Mora came in and took over the Golden Gloves. The number one lady as an official, Rita Madrid.
I just want to thank everybody for the Golden Gloves, and the special person in my heart is Jesse Mora. He's always been there for me, and we've always been great friends. And Ronnie Manus has been a really close friend, too. I enjoy doing the Golden Gloves. I got to watch many kids grow up and be a gentleman. And I think that was the most pleasure things of seeing these men grown up to be gentlemen and doing good things in their life. I will never forget half the kids. I think it was the greatest thing in the world. I do love watching my son used to box, and when I timekeeped him, that was the hardest thing for me to do because the stopwatch would go flying backwards because I couldn't sit there and watch. I always wonder if I was going to hit somebody in the head, but I was thankful the watch didn't get out of my hand. I have 2 kids, Gina and George, and then I have 2 grandchildren, is Maylin and Robert, and I have 3 great-grandchildren. I have my great-grandson here, Sonny, and I have a great-granddaughter, Kira, and I have a great-grandson. So, they are my pride and joy. I thank God every day that they are in my life. And I thank everybody who's in the Golden Gloves were in my life. I'm not a great speaker, and I don't want to go on forever and ever, but I want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart.
Coach, thank you for being with us on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for Rita Madrid. Rita, we need you to take a picture right in front of the podium with Mr. Mora, if you'd be so kind. Watch your foot there. And also Paul Kelly's going to be there taking the picture with you. But what an outstanding moment, ladies and gentlemen. One of the we had Chris Martin a couple of seconds ago making an incredible legendary move for the women in boxing sports. And then here locally, we have Rita Madrid doing the same, but in the officiating side. Look at this picture. Remember it. It was the day that Rita Madrid became a member of the Colorado Golden Gloves Hall of Fame. Mr. Paul Kelly, if you'll be so kind as to join me on stage. And I know that you've been practicing a speech there for a couple of days because this moment is very important to the 2022 inductee, Bruce Danford. Applause, please.
Been waiting for this moment. A lot to think about. I was blessed when Bruce came up to me and asked me, Paul, will you induct me into the Hall of Fame? I said, definitely, man. That's no problem. What a blessing it is to be up here and being able to do this. Just a little bit on Bruce. Excuse me, guys, if we can keep it down just a little bit, I'd really appreciate it. This man definitely deserves that. Mr. Bruce Danford, a good friend of mine, been a blessing. Bruce is a man of character and integrity, a man who has been through some very tough battles in his life. Like so many of us that you've heard of the boxing program, it changes lives. And Colorado Gloves is the biggest. I remember being a little kid, man, always saying golden gloves, and as a kid being part of the ring crew, setting it up as a little boy up there, and then going through the ages in there with all the coaches and waiting for my chance to get in there. And Bruce, he's a champion who whooped KO'd both drugs and alcohol. A pandemic that is hard in our program. You know, we see it all the time. A couple of boxers talked about it, how it affected them earlier in their lives, and they were able to beat that battle. And Bruce did that. He KO'd them demons. And that's what I call them. I've been there. I know it's hard. It ain't easy. And he did it, man. More than that, Bruce is a great husband. He's a great father. And last but not least, he's a great lawyer. He's working for the Colorado Golden Gloves, and we're blessed to have him on there, man. Bruce started boxing late. He's from a family of boxers. His grandfather, his dad, and then he followed through. He started in his late 20s. That's kind of late to be starting in boxing, but he did it. And that's what he needed in his life at that point. There are so many people that come through this, their lives, and they get tied into the boxing program, and it just turns lives around, man. They start walking with pride and honor, and that's what this man does all the time. You know, it's in his blood, and we hear that so many times. A lot of you guys out there, you're boxers. You taught your sons, your daughters. Amorena is a great example, man. It's in the blood. And it comes out. And you know what? After they're done boxing, they get back and continue to get back. And that's what this I'm going to call him a young man, did. He started late, but he's still young. And he's taking it through. Bruce started boxing to redirect his life from the drugs and alcohol. And he did it. You know, like I said, he started in the late 20s and then in the 30s. When he was in his 30s, he became a Golden Glover in Chicago, Illinois. You know, he started. He fought in the Golden Gloves, and it changed his life around. Not only that, but he became the chairman for the state of Chicago. You know, when you can't box anymore, then you coach or you become an official and a trainer, and you keep going. You just give back, and that's what happens when you become a boxer, man. You're changed. Your life is changed. And this man has been changed for the betterment of all of us, man. Like I say, when things come down, guess who we go to? Bruce Danford. Bruce, I need this. I need help with this. And there's no hesitation in this man. He gives and gives and continues to keep on giving. You know what? I just love the fact that he's on our board. He's something to look up to, man. And I adore him. And I tell you, man, I look up to you all the time. You're a great man, and I appreciate everything you brought for us. But I'll tell you one thing. It was through the grace of God that he got into boxing. And he is a God-fearing man. Bruce grew in his walk with the Lord through boxing. And, you know, if God is with you, who can be against you? Nobody. Nobody, and that's with this man. Come on up here, Bruce.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bruce Danford.
It is with great honor and pleasure to introduce to you Bruce Danford.
Thank you. I wish I had something smart, intelligent, or funny to say, but all I can say is thank you. Boxing is my family now. When I needed help and friends, I can go anywhere in the country and go see more other boxing shows and boxers, and I have friends. I have a family, and I've always wanted that, you know, somewhere to belong, and boxing has given me somewhere to belong, and I should be thanking all of you. Thank you.
Outstanding. Gentlemen, if you'd be so kind in front of the podium. And Bruce, I think that all the work you've done through the years has it all. It's not stories. It's not something that people said. It's what you've done, Bruce. And that's one of the reasons why this sport here in Denver has flourished. And it's one of the best. Because your guidance was there all the time. We thank you and your family, Bruce, with this round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, Bruce Danford. Dan, if you give us a couple of seconds. Okay, I tell you what. I'll do this in a couple of seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to please welcome all our new members. Baca, Jim Farrell, Scott Audrey, Rita Madrid, Bruce Danford. If you would be so kind that we're going to be taking here a class photo. Jesse Mora, would you please also join the group, if you'd be so kind? We're going to invite also Adrian Martinez, Steve Mestas, Paul Kelly to be in this picture. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how we're going to end our ceremony for today. We have Amorena, Baca, Jim Farrell, Scott Audrey, Rita Madrid, Bruce Danford, the class of 2022 Colorado Golden Gloves, go wild now, Hall of Fame. It's championship night, ladies and gentlemen, and in a couple of moments, we're going to be opening up that door. There are hundreds of folks outside waiting for tonight's beautiful contests, and they're all talented, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Here's the last couple of pictures. Please, if you would be so kind now, we're going to take a second picture, and right where Rita is, we're going to invite Lisa and Chris to also be in this picture. So if we could split here, and here comes Christy. And Lisa, you're also invited. Yeah, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a big round of applause for our special guests? What a wonderful conversation we had with Christy. An outstanding career, and she is now also all over the United States talking about the abuse and what can be done. And her program is working wonderfully.